come in. Hi, nice to meet you again. Yes, come in. Yeah, just take a seat. Yeah, just there, that's fine. How you doing? Good. How was your journey? Yes, I know. It's, yeah, they're always digging that road up. It is a bit of a nuisance, to say the least. Hopefully they'll finish up soon. So, yeah, how have you been doing? Okay. And how have you been sleeping since our first session? Any better? About the same. Yeah, that's expected. That's normal. These things don't happen overnight. Although we do get the odd person coming in expecting a miracle cure. But what can I say? We're not in the practice of miracles. If we were, then maybe my workday would be easier. Maybe everybody's workday would be easier if such things were so accessible. But yeah, we just have to take it as it comes. So yeah. Okay, so like last time, I want to ask you to rate the following on a scale of 1 to 10, and this is just going to be a regular little thing because it kind of helps me gauge how certain things in your life, how certain particular areas are, and if I should be delving into them a little bit further to try and find the answers to your sleep deprivation problems. Okay, so it's just like last time. It's going to be on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, more negative end of the spectrum, and 10 being the highest, obviously the more positive end of the scale. So, out of 1 to 10, could you rate your home life currently for me, please? Okay, yeah, that's great. And same question again, out of 1 to 10 for your work life. Okay, that's great. And last but not least, your social life. Okay, so just let me check those against our first session results, and yeah, they pretty much seem the same. You're giving me healthy numbers, so there's nothing to worry about that. What I'm seeing is absolutely normal. But it leaves me to probe a little bit further, if that's okay. And like I said in our first session, what you tell me or what you don't tell me is entirely up to you. These are your sessions, and I do not expect you to feel obliged to tell me things if you do not wish to. The whole idea is that you feel comfortable in these sessions, but I will say that the more open and honest you can be about things, the easier it will be for you to help me get to the root of the problem for your insomnia. But yeah, I absolutely respect your wishes, so if you don't want to divulge any particular information, that's fine. But I'm just wondering, just to kind of investigate this a little further before we carry on, I'm wondering, do you have any significant events that may be coming up in the calendar year for your work life? Any specific projects you have in your schedule? Any particular deadlines that are looming? Chance of relocation? Is there any downsizing going on in your company? These are often regular things that, although might not seem apparent, can have a much larger effect. No? Okay. You're not heading towards any kind of promotion or changing of department? Okay, no, that's fine. And what about your social life? Are there any particular events on the horizon in that area which could be triggering some kind of stress or unrest? No? No family get-togethers? No weddings to plan? No. Count yourself lucky. I've just had mine, and although the day was wonderful, the planning was a little stressful, to say the least. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I will say this though, if anything does come to mind that perhaps you may have overlooked or may not have sprung to the forefront of your thoughts within this session, or you've just forgotten something, which often does happen, then please feel free to bring it up in our next session and we can elaborate on that a little further. But yeah, no, that's fine. As for now, I'm going to pursue where we left off in our first session, and I'm going to look at some exercises which may help us identify the subconscious block which is probably causing your insomnia. Now, what I have for you today is a little test I'd like to go through. It is substantially a personality test, but it also helps me kind of gauge a little more perspective on the areas I've talked about with you today. It kind of gives me more of an insight. Now, what I have for you here is I actually have the results of the test, because it's set answers, and the answers you give me I will cross off with these results, but I'm going to give you this pamphlet here with the results on that you can take home yourself, and that you can evaluate what we've done here today as well, because some practices like to keep their results on a very strictly need-to-know basis, whereas my office believes in sharing, and it's very much a case of teamwork, and I think that's how we have achieved the best results we have since we've moved here. It definitely feels like a method that works for me. If it isn't a method that works for you, that's fine, we can adapt, but I just thought that you might be interested in seeing what the results of your test were today after we've finished. So if you just want to take that when we've finished, I'll keep it here because otherwise you might cheat. And yeah, I just thought that would be nice for you. Anyway, so what I want you to do for me is I want you to just get relaxed. I want you to lie on the couch, make yourself as comfortable as possible, and just make any adjustments you need to kind of get as comfortable as you can, and I'll just give you a second to do that. Okay. Okay, that's great. So what I want you to do is just close your eyes for me. Yeah, that's great. And I want you to imagine that in the palm of my hand is a light blue orb about the size of a baseball. It fits into my palm, but it's currently hovering just above. And it's a silent orb, except for the slight humming of a light vibration coming from its core. It's illuminating the dark of my hand. Just imagine it just underlit, and you can see in your mind just the light blue fluorescent colouring glowing from this orb. Now what I want you to do is just imagine that this orb is now just floating up into the air and has positioned itself at the crown of your head. Now don't worry, there's absolutely nothing to fear about this. It's not going to do any damage, it's not going to be any form of threat. It is here to relax you. For the light that emits from the orb takes on a very healing quality. The light will trickle from the top of your head down the side and down your face in a very light blue mist that, although you can see, is not tangible, but you can feel it, just like you can feel sprayed water when it's sprayed near your face. And what I want you to do is I want you to breathe with me. I'm going to set off a breathing pattern, and I want you to find yourself in sync with my pattern. And as we breathe, this light blue mist is going to cascade down your skin from the top of your head all the way down your torso to your lower body to the tips of your toes. And as it does, the surface area it covers is going to become very soft and tender and relaxed. So the more we breathe, the further the mist expands down your body, just melting you into a relaxed state. So I want you to breathe with me. I'm going to take a deep breath in and out. In and out. With that mist moving further and further down your body, you can feel it tingling across your skin, relaxing every muscle it comes across. In and down, spreading down to your midriff. You can feel it just glaze over your stomach. 3 more breaths now for me, please. And one more as you feel the light blue mist just trickle over your feet. That's great. Now what I want you to do is I want you to just open your imagination. I just want you to have a blank slate in your mind's eye. And I want you to envision that you are in the middle of a desert. In this desert, you see a cube. I want you to tell me how big is the cube. Okay. And what is the colour of the cube? Okay. And now tell me how far away is the cube from you? Lovely. Now tell me, is the cube transparent? Now you've seen its colour, but I want you to tell me, is it transparent? Can you see inside? Or is the cube just solid colour all the way around? Okay. And now I want you to tell me, how big is the cube compared to the desert? Okay, great. Now I want you to imagine a ladder. Is the ladder leaning on the cube? No. Okay. Where is the ladder positioned? Okay. And what is the colour of the ladder? And what's the ladder made of? Okay. What is the distance between the cube and the ladder? Okay, that's great. That's fine. Now I want you to imagine a horse. Yeah, that's right, a horse. And I want you to tell me, what is the distance between the cube and the horse? Okay. And the colour of the horse? Okay. And I want you to tell me, is the horse tied to anything? And is there a saddle on the horse? Right, okay. That's great. Now I want you to imagine that there is a storm. What is the distance between the storm and the cube? And is this particular storm big or is it small? Okay. Is the storm passing, or is it staying? Is it in full throes, or is it clearing up? What is the state of the storm that you see? Okay, that's great. Now lastly, I want you to imagine that you see a flower or a series of flowers. The number is entirely up to you, but I want you to tell me how many flowers you can see. Okay. And where are the flowers? Okay, they're there, right. And what is the colour of the flowers? Okay, that's great, and there we go. That is the end of the test. You just want to wake up, that's fine. And I'll give you this pamphlet, as I mentioned before, with the results of the test for your perusal. And if you just want to make an appointment with Janice on the way out, then that'll be fine, and I will see you next time.